3 4-day seminars in the northeast of India in the state of West Bengal. The first was outside of Calcutta in the south, and the second, where the circle is up in Siliguri. Kolkata is a large city of 15 million people, 8th largest in the world. We traveled in these yellow cabs because I forgot to take my sandals and we had to go shopping. Along the way we saw many interesting sights. The crowds were large that day because of a festival, Punjab festival, worshiping certain idols. This incredibly crowded shoe store threw boxes of shoes up and down through holes in the ceiling to be able to get the sizes and colors the customers wanted. At night, both my eyes developed eye infections. They wanted me to go to the doctor, but I had this in another country, and so we just managed to be able to go to a drugstore, buy that special eye ointment. Timing was remarkable. We were able to get that ointment before I got on the train, and then my eyes were healed and I could minister effectively at the seminar. Soon we were off to the train station. This is the Ganges River. We had to cross over this river to get to the train station. Notice the number of people on this broad river. It's known for its holiness. Many pilgrims make a trip to this very river. Pastor Jay said that we could take a bus, but he wanted to take a train. He wanted to show me about his whole past. It was a very interesting story, as he was a refugee from Bangladesh. His family lost all their property and money. His parents died here in India. And so early on, though, his father was blind, and he used to, 4 or 5 years old, bring his dad along in these trains right here, begging for money. He would pull his dad along with 2 long scarf handles and show his dad which way to go. This is Pastor Jagannath right here, who leads these churches and has a great burden for caring for children and people because he's been through such situations. You hungry for an apple? Pastor Jay thought I was. They have great apples up there in the north, and it's cooler. So on the train, there's all these hawkers that come by selling things. Probably about every stop, 6 hawkers get off, about 4 get on, and so this is the way they sell things all day long. Very interesting. And good apples too. I enjoy them. I never know where I'll be staying. I was really shocked when I saw this place. I said, wow, how much is this? But actually it's fairly inexpensive. This is built by the Muslims. Very nice, protected place. I said I'd like to stay here in this retreat center where the meetings were, but he says no, it wasn't protected enough. This is a statue of Mahatma Gandhi out front of this building. This is a pretty good retreat center, except at times it was very noisy with a large street outside. To worship idols like this, they played loud music that were from popular movies. Not religious music, but movie music. Each seminar is started with brief singing together as people collect, as we get organized, ready. The South seminar focused on basic discipleship training, helping them understand the whole process by which a Christian believer grows. They really were attentive, very interested, a lot of questions. It was a really eager group. And God really sustained me. I think this is the first time I was speaking, about 5 sessions, which was about 7.5 hours. So I appreciate how God had strengthened me during this time. I seemed really helped by the number of illustrations and practical things we did for them. It's just great to see all the pastors, evangelists, church leaders be able to eat together. Notice how they use their hands here, eating usually a hot curry food. And if you wonder, yes, I also use my hands to eat when they let me. To give them some mission perspective, I do this through illustrations or sometimes just introducing different words to them, usually in the Chinese language. They love it. faced many oppositions, not only my eyes, my camera broke, my shaver broke, my computer, a number of things was not working properly with it. And we found these problems all the way through these first 4 days. The last day here, we were trying to get a few things for communion. We couldn't quite find grape juice or apple juice or crackers, so we had to find different things in the market. So I'm just watching all these buses, cars, people come and go here at this one spot while waiting for him, shopping inside, going from store to store looking.
Living by faith, and nothing can stop God's kingdom from growing here. This is the faith he's looking for.
Pastor Jay had a difficult work. He translated all the messages and did 1 or 2 meetings on his own. What a privilege to work with him during these 2 weeks. We rode on rickshaws or a flat wagon to and fro the train station. The train station had a lot of people waiting. We first had to travel back to Kolkata and then north in a sleeper overnight to Siliguri. Used a little of that time on the train to prepare for Sunday messages. There are only 2 Bengali-speaking churches there in Siliguri, even though the majority of people are Bengali. After the church service, they took me here to look at the children outreach program they had. This is done in the slums, about 6 of them, as 30 churches have. And what they do is take these children who have dropped out of school, knowing the parents don't care for them, often in train stations begging. So the older and younger ones. The older ones were into more difficult things, perhaps like drugs, but after this purpose, they come to be helpers, and they help the little tuition they need for high school and help them get by. So all these kids now are doing very well in school and in their grades. And parents stand on the side kind of watching them during this time. And some of them have come to know the Lord through this means. They know I love Chinese food, so they try to get that to me when they can. While I was eating, a big earthquake, 6.3 on the Richter scale, up further north in Bhutan, was shaking Siliguri, which is a rare thing. Fortunately, no harm was done. In a similar way, the second seminar also started with worship and praise. The second session on reaching beyond mediocrity, the discipleship level 2 stage,
Allows us to step back.
they warmly responded to this teaching. It really helped them in different aspects of their life. We gave them extended handouts in Bengali language and were able to cover most of the topics that were in the book. Again, we saw how God wonderfully supplied strength during that long, extended speaking and good attention all the way through. To be honest, at the beginning, I saw a lot of hard-pressed servants of the Lord, sad, struggling. And my secret prayer was that God would give them joy and smile in their hearts. And He did that through this time. And it's just amazing. We had testimony times and people just stood up one after another. This one brother wrote down and translated the testimonies, some of the testimonies, but we had to stop them. At the very end, we had a time of dedication, and people just went up. More than 20 went forward, dedicating their lives, rededicating their lives to the Lord. It was a very moving time.
Holy
by the end of the retreat, we just saw God put smiles on their hearts. They were ready to go back out into the field to serve. It was so moving, so touching. Thank you so much for your prayers and your support. We appreciate that. Do keep praying for people in India, especially the Bengali people, 230 million, the largest unreached people group in the world. Please pray that the church will go strong.